what do you think of this? Yaz or Conforto gets dealt, possibly both, but I think one gets dealt, opening a spot for the rest of the season for Matos. I think that happens.
I think both of them should get dealt because, I mean, there's no reason to have Yaz or Conforto on your roster. Yaz right now, he's playing really well. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He's playing well. He has like a 116 OPS plus, and he's playing elite defense. He's playing the game the right way too. You saw it with the sacrifice fly that you mentioned earlier, Dan. He's aggressive. He's hustling, and he's fast. I mean, he has value that some teams want, and I think he has another year of arbitration. So I think you just get rid of both of them.
All right, let's say they do that. I got one for you. They get rid of both. You move Fitzgerald to center field. Matos plays left. Ramos plays right, and you bring up Luciano to play shortstop the rest of the year and see what he got. What do you think of that?
Love Luciano's bat. The glove worries me a little.
I would,
bit still.
you know.
But if you're gonna sell, let's see what he's got.
I'll give you a better one.
Especially if they're out of the race, just like throw them out there.
I would put Schmidt at short because I think Schmidt. Yeah, I think I would still bring up Luciano
too.
And they're not going to get rid of Chapman though. That's just, I don't think that's happening.
Why not? Why not?
Because of the relationship between him and Bob Melvin.
Who cares? Who cares?
Okay, like we would do it, yeah, but the Giants aren't going to do it.
But they're not going to. He's going to opt out anyway.
Exactly. Yes, he's probably going to opt out, but they're not.
Get rid of him and get something for him.
Yes, they should. They should trade him to New York. They need a third baseman. You can get some prospects in return, but it's not going to happen. I just can't see. I can't see Chapman being traded on this team. I just can't. I would love to see it happen because I would love to give Schmidt a shot at third.
What did he do tonight? 0 for 4. He's still stuck at 45 RBIs. We're in game.
Yeah.
He's the cleanup hitter, and he's got 45 RBIs.
Man.
This was the issue I said you would have with Chapman when they signed him. If you guys recall, I said he's not going to hit. He's a streaky hitter. He's a great third baseman. He can run the bases. He's a heads-up ball player. He plays every day. That's valuable. But he's not valuable on a team like this. Because what did he do last year? He was with the Blue Jays, and they didn't want him back. And they had Vlad Guerrero and Bichette and Springer. They had talent, and they didn't want Chapman back. He's valuable on a team that's loaded. Put him on a team that's stacked. He'd be a great Dodger in place of Muncy.
I think he'd be a great Yankee. I think he'd be a great Yankee.
I think there's an outside chance he gets moved for him.
You think so? I haven't heard anything. I've heard stuff about Snell. I've heard stuff about Conforto. I've heard stuff about Yaz. I haven't heard one peep about Chapman getting traded.
I don't think he will.
That's when something happens, though, because we know
not with the Giants. Not with the Giants.
No. When we hear all the news in the world, oh, the Giants are this close to signing somebody. They don't. So maybe when we hear no news is when something actually happens.
Maybe.
I just want to see Casey play. Look,
I want to see Casey play too, but I think
play him in his natural position. He's a Gold Glove caliber third baseman. Play him there.
I think he could be a Gold Glove caliber shortstop too. I just don't think. Do you think Luciano is the long-term shortstop?
No, but you know what? You got to find out.
Why do you want to mess with it? No, because I think they've already found out. That's why they're playing him at second base in the minors. I mean, he's
why are they playing him? I don't understand. You don't have a first baseman.
He should be at first base. I think
he should be at first base. They don't have a first baseman.
They don't. They need a power hitting first baseman. I mean, you've gotten like 8 home runs out of.
If you can't go get Kobe Mayo, then make Marco Luciano your first baseman because he can play first. He could have been learning first base in the last 5 weeks or so that he's been down in the minors, and he should have been playing first base. You know, you could get lots of work on the off the field with the coaches. It's footwork, it's ground balls, it's tossing the ball to the pitcher, it's throwing. He could do that because he's a shortstop. You know, he's
I don't
not
think he's a shortstop. Luciano.
But what I'm saying is he's played shortstop. That means he's athletic.
Okay.
So
yeah.
he could play first base.
No, yeah.
They
Exactly.
don't have a first baseman. I don't understand why they keep saying, where can we put Luciano? Hey, you know what, guys? Earth to San Francisco Giants. You don't have a first baseman that hits for power. How many home runs does Lamont Wade have?
3. I mean, everybody
3?
can clamor about
How many
Lamont
does Flores
Wade's
have? 2?
5, I think. I think he has 5.
5?
I think they have 8 together. You can clamor about Lamont Wade's OPS plus and everything, that he draws walks, and you need a power hitting first baseman. You need someone that can hit bombs on this team, and you don't have anybody right now. Maybe it's Soler. It could be Luciano. I mean,
George says it drives down his value. What value does he have right now, George?
Did you see the newly updated top 100 prospects list? Luciano's nowhere to be found.
He's not in it. His value's gone, George.
His value's at an all-time low right now.
They've actually
do the Giants even have a power hitting first baseman in the minors?
Eldridge. Eldridge.
That's their power hitting first. He's about 3 years away.
About 3 years away.
Okay. Well, need a bridge until he comes up. He's ready.
No, you do. I think you should consider trading Wade. Wade could be a good trade.
Yeah, he should trade him. Yeah, trade Wade.
Because
he's free. We said this about Flores last year. Trade Flores while he's hot. Did they?
Flores and Cobb. No. We said it last year.
And what are they both giving you this year? IL.
Nothing. They're giving you negative, actually, because they're taking up roster spots.
Yeah,
they have too many starting pitchers. Really, they need to move off a couple. They really do.
Yeah, they got this kid in Encarnacion that Mike says he could play first base. First of all, we got to see if he can hit in the majors. Just because he's tearing up AA and AAA, we don't know. Well, I guess he tore up the Mexican League in AAA. I'm thinking of somebody else, De Los Santos, that got traded from the Diamondbacks.
Hey, those Mexican League pitchers are
hard. But they've got to go athletic. Just think of this, what we talked about. In the lineup, Schmidt, Fitzgerald,
Ramos,
Matos, Lee, Luciano. I mean, Bailey. You got, 7 guys there under 26?
I like it.
I mean, come on.
See, I think Chapman on that team could be of more value than what he has now, because Chapman brings you an athletic element. So he would be mixed in with that. Chapman's an outlier right now, so he just doesn't fit on this team the way it's constructed right now. But if you surround him with more athletic talent, more speedsters, a little more youngsters,
he might have some. Look, Chapman's a sound baseball player. He's probably their best all-around player beside him and Ramos. But look, they're 5 games under 500. This is what I ask you guys is, you could say, oh, we can't trade Webb. Well, how you doing with him? Tell me how that's working.
And he's not pitched well lately.
Nope.
And if you read between the lines and hear his interviews, he's not happy. Remember his interview at the end of last year? We allude to it. Like some changes need to be made, and we know who he was talking about. Well, that guy's still here, and
he's still here. Exactly, Los.
And there haven't been any changes.
And there's still a 500 team. And Webb, for all the criticism about him not being an ace, he's a competitor. And he wants to be a Giant. You know, these other guys, Snell, Robbie Ray, Alex Cobb, they don't want to be a Giant. Webb knows what it's like to be a Giant. And does that mean anything? Yeah, it kind of does.
That's why he signed the team-friendly deal. I mean, he signed for 17 and a half? He's worth, on the active market right now, he's worth 25 to 30 million.
Bingo, man.